Mike.
Okay.
Mike.
Dr. Mike!
Oh, he's probably
You're
actually.
getting started.
He is.
Okay, my name is Dr. Mike. I'm a medical doctor. However, before I start, I do want to say I've been on the scene and there are some comics. They call me the Dirty Doc. And that kind of pisses me off because I don't know what I did to deserve that name, the Dirty Doc. So the only thing I can say to them is, go fuck yourself. Now, last week or 2 weeks ago, we had somebody talking about dildos. Was that you, Pat?
Wasn't me.
Well, guys. That was Casey. So it made me remember. I was brought up in Brooklyn. I worked in a head shop. And I remember I was there, and a blonde walked in. And she said, I'd like a dildo. I said, well, all our dildos are on this wall. Just pick out one. This is fucked up. And 10 minutes later, she comes over to me. She says, I know the one I want. I said, which one is it? She said, it's the big red one. The big? I said, you can't have that one. She said, why not? My money's good. I said, that's the fire extinguisher. Being that I'm a doctor, I figured I'd do some medical talk, because who else can do it? I had a woman walk into my office. She had a lot of cuts and bruises on her elbows, her knees. I said, what caused this? She said, I love to do it doggy style. I said, doggy style? I said, you gotta change your MO. She said, I can, but my doggy can't. Had a guy come in, he was about 40 years of age. He wanted a general physical, and I gave him the physical. At the end, I said, you know, there's nothing wrong with you, but I made an observation. You have the smallest penis I've ever seen. Does this create any problems? He says, well, when I have to pee, it takes me 5 to 10 minutes to find it and to hold it. But that's my only problem. I said, you don't have a problem sexually? He said, hell no. He says, when I want to have sex, there are 2 of us looking for it. I set up my practice in the 1960s, and after 3 days, a woman walked in. I said, what's your problem? She said, I have a discharge. I said, take off your clothes, get up on the table. If you need some help, my nurse will give it. And I went in my office. Now I'm saying to myself, 3 days out here by myself, I got to do a VANS exam. In medical school, we called that anatomical area El Snatcho. And in about 2 minutes, my nurse said, doctor, the patient's ready. And I'll never forget, I said, it's nacho time. And I went back into the room, sat on a stool, just looking right at it, face to Snatcho. And I put my hand in, took it out, in, out, cha, 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 out, in, cha, cha, cha. And after about 5 minutes, I said, how does it feel? She said, Doc, it really feels great, but the discharge, it's in my ear. So I slowly withdrew my hand. In those days, I had a mustache, and I loved to play with it. And then I did the most important part of a physical gynecological exam. I then put a glove on it to lock in the flavor. I had a male patient Mr. Rodriguez, he was in the hospital. Lovely man. And he's laying there, and we expected him to have maybe 3-4 days more of life. And we called the minister came in, came all the way to the head of the bed. And then we noticed, shortly thereafter, Mr. Rodriguez was having labored breath. And he was turning a grayish blue color. And he motioned to the minister. Please, he said, piece of paper and a pencil. And he wrote out something, gave it to the minister, and then he died. 3 days later in church, the minister was giving the eulogy. And he said, Mr. Rodriguez was a wonderful man, but he died and he left his wife and his 3 children. And with this, he puts his hand in his pocket. And he realizes he has the note there. He says, Mrs. Rodriguez, I have the note. Let me read it to you. Dear minister, please, you're standing on my fucking oxygen tubes. Now we have in the news the bikers that are shooting one another in Texas. And unless you saw the television today, you wouldn't know the reason why. So I'm going to tell you because I saw it. Turns out the head biker was married and his wife went to Walmart. And there was a Walmart greeter. And as the wife walked in, the greeter said, welcome to Walmart. And then the greeter noticed there were 2 children. And the greeter said, are those your children? And she said, yes. Are they twins? Twins? They're 5 years apart. What made you think you're twins? And the greeter said, you're so fucking ugly, who would fuck you twice? And then the action started. Now this was all I was counting on, 7 minutes. You want me to, more?
You can do whatever you want.
Never say that to me. I'm in Atlantic City. I pick up a girl from New York City. I said, did you come in the bus? She said, when nobody was looking, twice. I was driving home. A cop stopped me, put his hand right in the window. He says, papers. I said, papers? Scissors. I win. And I took off. What's a gay guy's favorite time of day? 8 o'clock. 8 o'clock. If this thing could vibrate, I know a girl I could give it to. Let me see. I wasn't counting on this. I don't know. So why do they call me dirty, though? The dirty doc. Why? Motherfuckers. I don't know. Yeah, that's about it. So, Dr. Mike, thank you very much. Those of you, let me throw this out.
Here. Push up. Hello. Are you switch it?
Yeah.
Word.
Now you did it. No, I just want to say, because I said to Pat 2 weeks ago, those of you with Latin heritage, I was the personal physician to Hector Lavoe. If anybody knows who he was for 20 years, Ray Barretto, Charlie Palmieri, a lot of the Fania guys. Also, I book bands. Only Latin though. I got a stable of about 25. Yeah, only Latin. Okay, thank you.
Good job, man. Give it up to Dr. Mike. The only doctor that's never heard of patient-doctor confidentiality, apparently. Alright, I don't see the next guy, but I hope he hears me. The guy who probably should get some Xanax off of Dr. Mike. Jason Yoner!